And I promise you, a relatable, lived-in space will resonate with more people than $1 million mansion. How do you vlog? Let's talk about it. Before you start filming, I want you to ask yourself one question. What is in it for your viewer? The era of making selfish content is over. If I'm not going to get anything out of your video, I'm not going to watch it. You're either going to educate me or entertain me. So before I even get started in this video, just ask yourself, what is the viewer getting out of this video? Even if it's a gym vlog, a daily vlog, a morning routine, or a sit-down video, you have to always think about your viewer. Okay, let's get into the video. So you want to learn how to capture your life and maybe even start a cinematic vlog. That is so exciting. I'm going to do my very best to explain how to vlog, the equipment that I use, and practical steps that you can take with you the next time that you're shooting. First things first, let me just say this. Not everyone wants to be a YouTuber, and that's okay. So I guess the first thing I want to say is that you don't have to share the videos that you create. They can just be for you. I think we all forget that that's an option, right? Just to keep it for ourselves. And capturing your life doesn't have to be just cinematic films. You can capture your life with your phone or even a point and shoot camera. Hey, point and shoot cameras have come a long way over the years. So what are some reasons why you might want to start capturing your life? I wrote down a few that I always like to keep in mind. I know I'm a YouTuber, but it's not what you think it is. Hold on, I need to get a little more cozy. I'm sitting on my ottoman and it's not the coziest. Hold on a second. All right, I'm just gonna state the obvious first reason, and that's memories of your life. I have so many amazing memories with my daughter because I take my camera almost everywhere I go. From like everyday moments of us having breakfast together and our really fun travel adventures. I just think this is probably the best gift that I can give her whenever she's older. And I don't just vlog the trips and like the big stuff, right? I vlog the everyday life. And if I'm being honest with you, I love the home vlogs better. Truly shows like where we are in our life right now, our daily routine. I know that in 50 years, when I look back at these videos, that I would give anything to be back in a boring, mundane day in 2025 with my 7-year-old. All right, the next point I have written down is to inspire others that are in the same era of life that you're in. And here's what I mean by that. Say you're going through a divorce or you're a single parent like I am. People love to connect with real people going through real everyday life things. Yes, we all like to look at, you know, the people who buy $20 million homes, but for me, I relate more with the creators who share their everyday norm. Those are some of my favorite vlogs, and I watch them every day. Because it feels like we're besties, like we're just like chilling. Like maybe you just got done making your baby's breakfast and I put that in my vlog. Maybe it's gonna inspire you to pick up your camera the next time you're making your kids breakfast. Just little scenes that I put in my vlogs that are as simple as that can go a really long way. I also think it's cool to film your life and look back and maybe see how far you've come. Not only with your filmmaking skills, but just in life in general. I look back at my old vlogs and I'm like, whoa. Just scroll back. It's like a world of difference in not only like my film skills, but my storytelling skills. I'm getting better at like sound design, and like it's such a cool process to see the growth. And I'll always leave those old videos up because I like going back and looking at them and being like, wow, like I really got a lot better at my craft. But your seemingly like boring life could really inspire someone to like embrace their own daily experiences and maybe go about their day in a different way and just help them find joy in the simplicity of everyday life, which I don't think people are ever really happy until they learn how to romanticize the everyday. Because I always tell my daughter, I'm like, the big moments only happen every once in a while, right? You have to learn how to romanticize the everyday moments. And you could be the person to help them do that and maybe look at their life from a different lens, no pun intended. Tell me how you got through a hard time. Maybe I'm looking at at it the wrong way. This is why it's so important to create content, because it's not just about the views and the likes, it's about who you connect with and who you help along the way. It's about that human connection that we all crave. And the more realistic and raw you are, the more people are going to love you. I think what people struggle with the most is just how to be themselves, right? Because some of us, we don't know who we are. So I think step number one is going to be find out who you are. Who are you and what do you want to be known for? I think the biggest takeaway from that, if you don't remember anything else that I say, don't compare, because your story matters too. And if you're already feeling overwhelmed, and I didn't even get into like the planning and the equipment and color grading and all of that stuff, if you're already feeling overwhelmed, what I would recommend is just to start with photos. I know this is like non-traditional advice, but hear me out. Starting with photography gets you into that groove of consistently capturing and bringing your camera without the pressure of filming everything. And start taking pictures and just get into the habit of throwing it in your purse or throwing it in your bag and taking it everywhere you go. And eventually, after you get used to photography, maybe you'll fall in love with that, who knows? But it's gonna build that confidence and it's gonna build that consistency muscle that you need to film your life. And then one day you're gonna get really brave and you're gonna bring your tripod and you're just gonna press record. And you're gonna wonder why you waited so long to do that. And then you'll be addicted to vlogging your life. At least that's how it happened for me. All right, let's go over how I plan my vlogs. First things first, music first, always. Music inspires the way that I shoot. And this is not a sponsored ad. I really do wish it was, because I've been using them for years, but the only place I get my music is Epidemic Sound. I'll leave my affiliate link in the description box down below, but when I say they have everything from sound effects, pop music, hip hop, R&B, you name it, they have it. People always ask where I get my music. That's where I get it from. Another thing you can do is search on YouTube non-copyrighted music and just screen record and use the sound in your vlogs. That is a free option, completely free, and YouTube has a lot. But nothing else in my process can come together until the music is picked out. I will literally close my eyes, listen to the beat, and try to picture how I want to film the vlog. All right, so you have your music picked out. Now what? You need to think about what your video is going to be about. So here's my exact process so my video is not random and hard to follow. Because if you can't follow a storyline, the odds of your retention being high are slim to none. And retention matters on YouTube. So if I have like a general theme for that week for my videos, I will brain dump a bunch of ideas. Then I will stop, take a look at my list, and pick one. Now, after I have my video topic, then I will write out the main points that I want to hit in my video, just like I did with this one. Now, if you're having trouble expanding on your idea, you can always ask ChatGPT to expand on the specific topic and include exactly what you would like in your video, and just ask ChatGPT for more bullet points. Maybe it'll give you an idea on your topic that you weren't thinking about covering. Okay, now we need to choose what type of vlog you're gonna film. Is it gonna be a sit-down video with A-roll? A-roll just means me talking to the camera. B-roll is anything other than that. If it's a sit-down video, it's pretty straightforward. You're sitting down, you're talking to the camera. It's easy. Now, if you want to get a little bit more cinematic, you need to make a rough draft shot list. Okay, here's what I mean by that. You need to either type out the shots that you want to get in detail in your phone, or you can draw them out. Personally, I just write it down. I'm going to give you an example in just a second. But the reason we want to write a shot list out is because it makes filming so much easier. We can just reference the shot list, boom, 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 check, 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 check. It makes filming so much quicker. Say it's a daily vlog and I'm like, okay, I need to get a wide shot of me making my bed and then a close-up shot of me fixing the covers. I quite literally write out every single detail of that vlog. Now let's talk about different kinds of videos. You can do a talking head. You can also just film what you're doing and then put a voiceover over it, or simply just music, or you can mix both, which is what I like to do. I think a mix of showing what you're doing and not telling people what you're doing because they have eyes and they can see that you're making breakfast. You don't have to say, hey, I'm making pancakes. Hey, I'm giving this to Ava. Hey, we're going to the store. Like, they can clearly see what you are doing. You don't have to mention every little step of your vlog, okay? People can see what you're doing. So I think a mixture of show and don't tell and A-roll, which is talking to the camera, when you perfect that balance between both, you're gonna have a lot of fun making videos. All right, let's head over to the table so we can talk about equipment, because that is my #1 asked question on this channel. All right, I went to grab a few pieces of gear that I cannot live without, okay? I have more upstairs, but I just wanna focus on the essentials. First things first, you need a camera. Now, the type of camera you use is totally up to you. There's no right or wrong answer. If you're a shy girl or guy, I would definitely recommend the Osmo Pocket. I just made an in-depth tutorial on how to get cinematic footage out of your DJI Osmo Pocket right here. So if you ordered one or you just got one, go ahead and watch that video. It will set you up for success. This is definitely a great camera, and when you take it off of the tripod, it is so tiny. So if you're shy, this is a great option. I would not use this camera without the magnetic mount. You can stick it to literally everything. Grocery carts, meters, downtown, you name it. I wouldn't use this camera without this magnetic mount. The next type of camera you can get is a point and shoot. I have not used this camera much yet, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's a great camera. I just always bring my Canon R6 Mark II, which is what I'm filming on right now, because I'm so used to color grading Canon footage. But I really need to step out of my comfort zone and color grade Sony footage to make it look like the Canon footage, because this camera is so tiny. This is the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II with the Sigma 16mm 1.4. It has a nice wide aperture, meaning you can let a lot more light in. It's really good for low light, and you get that nice creamy bokeh in the background. I have played around with this camera and it is fantastic. The Sony autofocus is so good. Canon's is good too, but the Sony autofocus is very snappy, and I can see why people love it. But I'm just a Canon girl at heart. I can't help it, okay? I've been shooting Canon for a decade. Now, this camera right here, this is my certified B-roll footage camera. This is the Canon R5. I told y'all I'm a Canon girl at heart, okay? I can't help it. This is the Canon R5. I also use this camera to take all of my thumbnail photos, and this is a Sigma 24-70mm lens. This is an f2.8. And if I do say so myself, and I have Canon glass and Sigma glass, honestly, Sigma glass is so unique and so creamy and beautiful. I have a Sigma 50mm 1.4 as well. Sigma glass is so good, and it tends to be less expensive than Canon or Sony glass. So if you have the option, I highly recommend picking up the Sigma version of whatever you were gonna buy, of whatever lens you were gonna buy. But no matter if you choose to shoot on mirrorless cameras, I would definitely recommend the smaller one to save your back and your arm. Or if you want something more discreet, like the Osmo Pocket, all of these can shoot raw footage that you can color grade, and you're still gonna get a fantastic image no matter which camera you pick. Just pick one that fits your budget and your lifestyle. One thing that I would not skimp out on is audio quality, okay? I have the DJI Mic 2. I love this microphone, and actually if you get the creator combo with the Osmo Pocket, you get a DJI Mic 2 that comes with it. I always tell people that you can sit through bad quality video, but nobody can sit through bad quality audio. You have to get that all the way together. And while I'm editing, if I notice that I have to do a voiceover for a clip, I will use this microphone right here. It is my favorite microphone to do voiceovers. I just think the audio is so crisp and clear. This is the Rode DS2. Again, I'll link everything in the description box down below. I would also get some sort of tripod. I would get a bigger tripod. I have a travel tripod and I have these tripods. So many tripods, okay? So many tripods. I'll list them all down below, but I also have this tiny one that goes with the Sony or any other point and shoot that I'm shooting with. Just so whenever you're vlogging, you have that little bit of extra room. And if you need to set your camera down to get a different angle, you can, and then you can just adjust it like this. I definitely think it's useful to have. You can even press record from the handlebar, although I don't find that to be completely necessary, because it's not that much extra work to just do it right here. Something fun that I like to use if I'm not feeling very creative and I just want to like spark some creativity is filters for my lenses. So I get mine from FX Filters. I have this kind of pinhole one. I'll show you what it looks like. Just put it over the lens. Kind of a cool effect. It kind of blurs everything out so you're the focal point. I have this one with a whole bunch of diamonds on it. This is what it looks like. It just kind of catches the light. And it's called Lucid Dreams. Kind of makes everything a little more blurry. And one that never leaves my lens is a black Pro Mist filter. I also have a teeny tiny black Pro Mist filter on my Osmo Pocket as well. It really softens the light and gives you that cinematic look. And if it's a little bit too bright, you're gonna wanna invest in an ND filter. It's kind of like sunglasses for your lens. Because when you're shooting, you wanna keep it 1/50 for your shutter speed, and sometimes that doesn't work with your lighting conditions. So all you have to do is put this over here, and if it's way too bright, this is gonna help you out a lot. Of course, you're gonna need something to edit on. You can edit on the iPad Pro with DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, iMovie, whatever you can afford fits your lifestyle, use that. You can also use CapCut. I love using CapCut. I color grade in Final Cut Pro on my MacBook Pro, and then I bring it into CapCut to add any other sound effects or texts or anything like that. And please don't forget, you can always just use your phone. You can even shoot raw footage on your phone and color grade iPhone footage. I don't think a lot of people know that, but just know that these are all incredible options. The main thing when you're picking a camera is to learn that camera inside and out. It takes time, but it's really fun to learn. Another piece of equipment that I don't have here, it's upstairs, is my drone. I use my drone for an establishing shot to show my viewers where I am, like the full spectrum of where I am. It's a very cool element to add into your vlogs, but it is not necessary. All right, I know I threw a lot of information at you and you probably feel a little bit overwhelmed, but let me ease your mind, okay, before you start filming. You're capable of doing this. Like, you've mastered every single hard thing that you thought you couldn't master in your life. And vlogging and learning your camera and lighting is no different. Okay? Play around with shadows, play around with light. I know there are some people that will tell you to buy big fancy studio lights. I am not one of those people. Personally, I think natural light looks way better, and I have big fancy studio lights. I just think natural light is more inviting and makes your skin tone look way better, and it's much easier to color grade, in my opinion. And I know I keep mentioning color grading, but shooting on auto for video is okay as well. But the main thing that I want you to get out of this video is just to ask yourself, what's in it for your viewers? What is the story you are trying to tell? And please plan before you go shoot. Now, shooting might not go the way you think it's gonna go. Mistakes happen. I have to reshoot things all the time. But that's just the name of the game. That's what you signed up for. And please do not let not having a aesthetic home or thinking you have a boring life stop you from vlogging and capturing your life. Your life matters just as much as anyone else's. You have a story to tell too, and there are people that are waiting to hear your story. But we can't hear your story, we can't see your life if you don't pick up the camera. It's actually selfish of you to not vlog. You never know who you can help through your content. You just never know. And I promise you, a relatable, lived-in space will resonate with more people than $1 million mansion. So please remember that your life does not have to be picture perfect for you to vlog it. The beauty of your story is in your authenticity. So please let your voice inspire somebody who needs your perspective. Oh, and my next video after this one is a vlog. So pay attention to how I frame everything, listen to the music, and now that you know this information, you're gonna be able to pick up on everything that I told you. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one.